Bible existing today is actually impossible.
What do you mean? It's a book. Books can exist pretty easily. Like How to Beat Depression with the Bible by Taylor Johnson. It's a book. It exists. Nothing special about it.
Yeah, but the Bible is not just a book. The Bible is 66 different books written over a course of 2,000 years by over 40 different writers from 3 different continents in 3 different languages. When it all came together, it all talked about the exact same thing. It has over 63,000 different correlations, hyperlinks, and internal quotes. That is just amazing and not possible if it was just written by a guy or by people who didn't have some kind of an impossible connection to one another.
Okay, but that's not proof.
Oh, I'm not done.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
So what else is there then?
Prophecy.
What do you mean?
Well, there are over 2,500 verifiably fulfilled prophecies, meaning 2,500 prophecies in the Bible that have been proven to have actually been fulfilled, that they actually were predicted and then they occurred.
Name one.
Jesus being crucified.
Okay, but that doesn't count as a prophecy because Jesus was crucified just like tons and tons of people were crucified. That doesn't count to say like, oh, he was crucified.
Well, it was actually predicted around 700 years before Jesus was born, and even that prediction predates crucifixion by around 100 years.
Well, that's an assumption in dating. Like dating could easily be off by around 100 years, so that doesn't actually give evidence to that.
I'll give you that. So what about if Jesus' crucifixion was predicted about 1,500 years before it actually happened, before he was born? Would that be a little bit better? Because then that would be about 900 years before crucifixion was invented by the Persians and about 1,100 years before it was adopted by the Romans.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
It actually did.
When?
On 2 separate occasions within the book of Exodus, and that was written sometime between 14 and 1500 BC.
And what are those?
Well, the initial one was the Passover lamb, where the lamb was slaughtered on behalf of the people. It was the substitute for the Jews so that the firstborn would be passed over. So that predates the crucifixion, and that predicted the crucifixion.
No, that does not predict crucifixion because they cut the lamb's throat.
That's correct, but it still resembles and foreshadows Jesus' crucifixion specifically in specific details.
Like what?
Well, for example, the lamb had to be spotless. It had to be without blemish, and that was representative of it being without sin, and Jesus was without sin.
Okay, so you're trying to relate a lamb to Jesus.
Yeah, like when John the Baptist saw Jesus and he said, "Behold, the Lamb of God who has come to take away the sins of the world."
Okay, but that's not related to the crucifixion or anything that happened during the crucifixion.
Well, actually, it was very specific. Whenever they were slaughtering that lamb, it was told to them that not a single bone in the lamb's body could be broken. So during the crucifixion, whenever Jesus was being crucified, not a single bone in his body was broken.
So how is that significant?
Well, you know that Jesus was crucified with 2 other men, right?
Yes.
Both of the legs of both of those men were broken.
But not Jesus?
No, not Jesus.
Okay, well, that's a little interesting, but still, that's not evidence. That's not proof of anything.
Well, you know when Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?"
Yeah, that would actually be evidence from your own Bible that Jesus isn't God.
Only if you don't understand anything about the Bible would you think what you just thought.
Okay, so what then?
When Jesus said those words, he was basically reciting lyrics to a very popular song from their culture.
A song?
Yeah, or more specifically, a psalm. More specifically than that, Psalm 22.
And what does that say?
Well, that was written around 900 years before Jesus was crucified. And in that, right after the part that Jesus recited, it talks about how they all surrounded him, but he counted all of his bones, which was a poetic way of saying that they were all intact, that he had all of them, they were not broken. And then it goes further to say that those who were surrounding him, that they took his clothing, they took his garments, and they were casting lots for his garments.
Okay, well, what does that have anything to do with Jesus?
Well, the Roman soldiers, they took Jesus' clothing